Okay.
Over here, by the plant.
And like,
He's gonna think the plant's talking to him. This is great.
and he like looks over and he's like, buddy, I didn't know you could talk. Why you sound like a girl?
I'm not the plant. I was hoping you'd come over though. This is Texas. I'm invisible right now.
All of Texas?
Well, not all of Texas.
Oh my god.
A person. I technically lived there for a very short time. You met me.
I don't need to know your backstory. What do you need?
Well, there's a group of people.
No. Go through the entire back.
A lot has changed in the past 12 hours.
Good God, man! You have a dangle now. I'm not going to fault you for any sort of like thing that you went through. Your body has gone through a metamorphosis overnight. Please, it's fine. You do not need to apologize. And he just kind of looks at you and puts a hand on your shoulder and just like.
You got a dangle.
Like, all right, you were somebody who lived in Texas,
Right.
and then you
It's
took
not
the name
important
Texas?
though. That part isn't important. This is the important thing.
Why would you open with that if
No.
it wasn't
Well,
important?
I was just trying to introduce myself. Okay, so
Okay.
the important thing is there was a group in here, and now there's still one of them, but the others are gone, but they're coming back, and they want to kill us?
Are they from Texas too?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. But the important thing is they want to kill at least one, if not more, of us, and or do serious harm and damage. So, do
Okay.
you guys have rules or like a safe room?
No, we kind of play
Or-
it fast and loose here.
Yeah, I've heard that. So we should just kind of hightail it on out of here?
I mean, you could fight them. That'd be kind of entertaining. No,
Well-
right?
Am I bound to some sort of thing? I feel like the most responsible thing to do is to know, like, before you put on jewelry given to you by a god.
You feel like the most
Well, I
responsible
just-
thing to do when a god offers you a gift is to be like, well, what
Well,
is
no,
is there a
thank you
user
very
agreement
much.
that
I
we
just-
need to sign here?
I feel like
I mean, she's very nice, but this is no Banyan, the god of the lions. I mean, he's the king of the beasts.
And as Bubba walks out, he goes, "Hey, man, now I'm gonna get him turn on. Woo!
Sorry, guys, I speak Bubba. I know how you doing.
And man, from Artificer Ball to share put stuff all the time.
You ain't fooling? Hell, my brother Cletus would love to talk to you.
Hey, man, I'm terrible. From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're feel like pretty like people going in.
All right, now sounds good.
I'm just gonna cast in code thoughts to just pull this memory out for later. Someone's gonna want to study.
Are you always invisible?
No, I just did this because I was trying to be stealthy. It's not working very well. I can see that.
No, because you're still talking.
I know, I have learned my lesson. I haven't learned my lesson. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to do more stupid stuff. It just kind of happens.
Because you
You can't fool me that early in the... Hi, gang, welcome. It's Tuesday night. It's time for a little D&D, and so it begins. To everybody hanging out in the chat, Captain Slaymore, thank you so much for subscribing 4 months in a row. We love you. And Nitro, hi, welcome. Welcome, gang, to another exciting night of D&D here on Indigo Chameleon. Thank you for wandering with us. We're very happy to have you all here. We have a few announcements before we get started. We have a Discord. Come and hang out with us there with most up-to-date schedules and latest cool stuff coming and memes and inspiration and all sorts of awesomeness. We also have a merch store. You can come and hang out in the merch store with us and not with us, you can go by yourself and buy mugs and t-shirts and all sorts of cool stuff. Like the one that Alcaboozebender is wearing. Look at this lovely cast right here. So thank you all so much for everything that you do to help keep the lights on here at Indigo Chameleon. Upcoming schedule for this week. We've got lots of cool and exciting things happening. Tomorrow we don't have anything going on, but on Thursday you can check out the Lost Isle as we continue our Eber Onward arc as the group explores Eberron, and it's very cool. The group has a train heist, which I'm way too excited about. I've always wanted to do a little train heist episode, so tune in. It's going to be some good times. It's our mixture of D&D and sci-fi. That's on Thursday. On Friday, we have the Indigo Chameleon Cup, our take on the Harry Potter verse, where the group has not... We haven't talked really much about this on the Discord, but essentially what it will be is thus. One member from each of the houses competing in 3 competitions. Each one shot, that particular house will earn points. And at the very end of it, Gryffindor will win for no reason whatsoever.
That's it. No, we will win because we are the best.
I disagree.
Because Dumbledore gave it to you.
They're the best at having things handed to them for doing nothing.
Thank
that's
you.
fair.
Just let them have it.
Said Slytherin.
Yeah, you're right.
We have to clear something that's going to conquer the world.
Hey, I'm something that
You're not feeling good?
must be this Gryffindor
It's your
syndrome.
birthday as well.
It's weird.
So, lots of exciting things. Admiral Slaymore, I'm never going to be deified. Not with that attitude, mister. Keep up the good work. And thank you for reminding me, Captain. You can also use your stream points to get things like help me behind the DM screen to name places and inns and NPCs and big bads and things of that sort. And your hard-earned bits can be used to give the players boons like DM advantage and allow them to roll at advantage and things of that sort. However, I did miss being able to give you guys like good karma and things of that sort. So we're gonna have a little thing going on because I also want to respect social distancing and things of that sort. So the first of you to do something that entertains the joke, the thing typed in chat, the thing that makes everybody go, oh no, Sarah, why? Is going to get good karma. Normally I would throw the karma at you and be like, you get the whole lot of karma. And karma, you can trade in for advantage on one roll. But the minute you use karma goes back to the DM to be able to assign it out to someone else at the table. So it's just a fun little thing that we can do.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. So bring the heat, gang. Nitro, can I just throw money
Can we
at
just
you?
turn the fan off?
Yeah, you can turn I appreciate
Thanks,
that. Can I just throw money at you for deification? I cannot be so easily bought. Talk to me, just send me a private message on the Discord.
He really loves energy drinks.
We
I was
heard
going to
that.
say.
There's vices. There are vices.
Lots of stuff. So thank you, Wolf Corinne, for providing karma to us. That is what's going on this week, and then Tuesday we'll cycle back around to Wanderlust. Don't forget, too, that we have a podcast. If you missed an episode, if you want to go back and listen to another episode again, you can check out the Wanderlust and Exploration of Wildmount, the podcast. Now with even more podcast. It's great. Tune in. I lost the train on that one. So, yeah. I think that's it for announcements. I think that's it for announcements. Okay, you can have karma first. All right, I'm going to point him in your direction. I think that's it for announcements. I think that's it for upcoming stuff. Does anybody have anything they want to plug? Any projects you're working on? Things along those lines? Once upon a time, in Wanderlust, there was some stuff, y'all. We traversed the Shark Feather Abyss. After a surprise attack from a few individuals that tried to climb aboard the ship, you all jumped into the tumultuous waters of the Sharkfeather Abyss. Some of you jumping into the waters and then choosing to reveal that you are not anywhere close to being what would be considered a swimmer. However, all's well that ends well. You all began to explore the inky abyss using your new breathing bubbles. You did perchance stumble onto a priestess, the person that you were supposed to find, that had sunk Palmaflora into the abyss, or a big portion of Palmaflora into the abyss. After a very heated battle between her and some of her compatriots and some misguided sharks that were given faith and saw the light, you all managed to be victorious. Unfortunately, at the loss of this priestess. You all were brought back to the ship just in the nick of time, where it was discovered that the captain
Is a pirate.
Didn't necessarily care if you lived or died, and was going to make that abundantly clear. However, an individual stepped up at the last minute. Someone that you thought was just a lowly member of the crew shared some words with the captain, and you all were ushered aboard the ship. Zerafina, you have been given DM inspiration. I think you were the only one that still needed there. So thank you, Wolf Garin, for doing that. So after all of that was done, you now find yourselves aboard the ship with a somewhat confused-looking half-orc who is asking Zerafina how she knew about the secret mission being undertaken by the Cobalt Soul, and that is immediately where we're going to pick up. So, heroes, it's late. I want that established now. It's been an hour in the water and things of that sort, but I will say your adventure took a lot out of you. You have not taken a long rest. You have not taken a short rest. All right?
Right.
So you are just now getting aboard this ship, somewhat beaten, bloody, and battered. Okay, some of you closer to death than I think any of you would like at this point. I'm going to say that all of you, for the time being, are cramped together in that small space that was allotted to you by Captain Three Earrings.
Is her name's Daja? Daja?
Yes.
What's her name? Is she with us?
Dash is in the
Dash.
space with you. She has removed her cloak at this point. You would see that as she does so, the two bearded dragons that were atop her shoulders tend to move with her in a sort of fluid movement and still remain perched atop her shoulders.
And she just asked me how I knew about it. Okay.
Yes.
I look over at Dev, and I say, you trust her, right?
I mean, I trusted Three Earrings, and that didn't go well.
Well, you've talked to her more than us. And you're usually a good judge of character. Until the whole Three Earrings thing. So, well...
I could maybe help.
Yes?
I'm gonna cast Speak to Animals.
Okay. You're going to certainly try. You're going to go to cast Speak with Animals, and a counterspell is going to be brought up. She goes, I would rather no one cast any spells currently at the moment, as tensions are a little high, and while I don't know you, I'm making a decision here and a judgment call. So before you go speaking to the animals, why don't you try speaking with me?
I mean, she's part of your group, so...
I'm sorry.
Over here, and Simon's gonna lean up against the wall and immediately close his eyes, and there's a faint bit of snoring.
Yeah, just faint bit. All right, yeah, you start your short rest of relaxing.
The truth is, I didn't know about the secret mission. I made that up.
You made it up.
I did.
Blast it all to hell in a handbasket. All right, and she walks around and sort of paces in the small space that she's in. And of course you didn't know. Yes.
There's more to the story. It's dangerous. And unfortunately, I've already put someone at the Cobalt Soul, maybe more than one person, in danger. And I'd like to make it better, but telling anybody anything could make it worse. And I don't know who I can trust.
Trust?
She thinks about it for a second and then says, you all have stumbled into it. You've stepped in it. You honestly have. At this point, there are individuals looking for you. I know the individual that stopped here the other day looking for 3 earrings, and that member of the Clovis Concord is not going to let this go. So, I think it's best for you, and best for me, if I know what the hell is going on here.
Where are you from? I'm from Zadash.
I'll say the same for now.
From Zadash? I never saw you there.
You didn't.
Okay. So you're really high up.
She was like, that's not, she didn't.
I'm from there, but also there's somebody that looks exactly like me and has my name that is currently there.
Okay. Who's awake? Who's paying attention to this conversation? Asleep? Are you paying
I'm
attention?
awake. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's paying attention.
I mean, I'm probably more paying attention to the bearded dragons, honestly.
Alright. What's this do to magic?
Yes.
Is it someone wearing your face?
Yes. Well,
Is it you?
yes.
Dunamancy. Perfect. Wonderful. Yes, of course.
I would know this word, right? I mean, I've studied enough that I,
Dunamancy?
yeah.
Give me our arcana.
Can I also?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's probably very good because
That's a 2 on the dice, so never mind.
That's a 17 plus 5. That's a 22.
Dunamancy is somewhat new in terms of arcane schooling.
This is time magic, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I'm just,
I don't know how much I can explain.
I don't think you should. It sounds like it's a big mess.
It is.
Is it official or non-official?
It's unofficial. They know a bit, but not much.
Hello.
Hello.
You didn't think to mention this the other night.
I mean, I just found out, and the last time she told me that her face got burned, so I don't know how things work.
She instinctively puts a hand up to her face. She goes, all right, well, that's good to know.
I have no ill will.
Yes.
I would lean towards Olvar, say, do you have any greens?
I do not believe that we have any more after the last incident.
No, but I know that you like to pick things up as we travel.
Oh, that's kind of green.
Like leaves.
Oh. Sure.
This was Olvar discreetly saying he smokes pipe weed.
Bro, we
got some
I
dice.
hit that a while ago, bro. Like,
Got that, smoke that wild magic.
Wrong character, wrong timeline.
Wrong.
it's weird how my characters do that.
Yeah.
And he'll reach into his pocket back. He'll just pull out whatever he has, like
kelp.
which probably it's
Yeah.
seagrass and like
Yeah.
random assortments of like wintered foliage and stuff like that. So
Of course, yeah.
And I'll take some and look at her. May I?
She looks at the two of them and looks up at you and nods her head.
I'll just hold out my hand so they can eat.
She will say, quid pro quo. I work for a portion of the Cobalt Soul which very few people interact with at all. Most of us don't really know we exist. For the time being, the people in this room, I will say that you may refer to us as the Archivist. I am currently investigating something for the Cobalt Soul, and it is of the utmost importance that I continue this investigation. You all seem like genuinely nice people and do not belong on this ship. I saw what you did, and I'm aware of how many lives you saved. I wish I could have told you sooner. When we arrive at Port Damali, I unfortunately am going to have to disappear for a bit of time as I report back to my superiors. However, I would recommend that, are you planning on staying for any extended period of time?
Would we know that this thing that we're trying to stay for is like 20 days away?
So
we know this yet?
you would be aware at this point to group the group together into knowing what you know. That piece of paper revealed that if you are going to bring whatever's in this box, it's happening in Port Damali. Where you're supposed to meet them is happening in Port Damali, and it's happening in 3 weeks' time, based on today's date. You will be arriving in Port Damali tomorrow, so it'll be not 21 days, it'll be 20 days, until the day that you are supposed to head towards the temple, and you're heading towards the temple on a very auspicious day, a day of a great tournament that takes place in the city. The reason you're doing that is, and I don't think this is too big of a stretch, when the parade is going on, everybody's watching the parade. Nobody's watching anything else, or very few people are watching anything else. Like, that's when you want to rob the casino. You want to rob the casino on the big night with all the fireworks so nobody notices the explosion. So like, right.
This is punchable carnival.
This is called the God's Brawl. It's punchable carnival. That is going to be an episode title coming down the line. Yes, absolutely. So you would realize that if you're going to stay here, it wouldn't make sense to travel outside of the city and then come back in the 20 days that you have.
Okay. We should be around for a while. I'm more worried about the Clovis Concord is going to say that they saw us, and I'm worried that it could turn into Zara being in trouble or having her history. I don't know what to do, and maybe you have a way to.
She is going to ask for your wrist. As she grabs your wrist, she is going to do something rather odd. She is going to take 2 fingers and put them at this part of your wrist. And she is just going to hold it there for about a minute, pressing it into your skin at the wrist. And she says, "Do you work for the Clovis Concord?
No.
Are you truly a member of the Cobalt Soul?
Yes.
Do you wish ill will on anyone at the Cobalt Soul?
No.
Are you trying to do the right thing?
Yes.
Oh my God, you're bloody right. You are trying to do the right thing, aren't you?" She looks at you somewhat concerned, and then she takes a second to take her hand away, and she just kind of grabs your hand. And she says, "I will, oh God, please don't screw me on this. I will take care of this as best as I can. I will make it so that there was a misunderstanding. I will say that you were covering for me, and no one will mess with Zara, who is where?
In the archive at Zadash.
Specifically, what is she doing?
Probably in the library.
Okay.
Or a classroom.
Perfect.
Maybe down with the monks fighting.
No, please stop talking. Just the less I know, the better. That's wonderful. That's where she is. I will take care of it.
Thank you.
Need help.
Yes.
I don't mean that negatively. Like, not, oh God, you need help. I just mean that you need help.
Right.
The thing that happened to you involving dunamancy, was it on purpose or an accident? A little of both?
Not on purpose on my end.
All right. I'm going to send you to see a friend of mine. And she will take a piece of paper out and write down a name for you. She will say this. You need to go see Kana. Kana is...
Kana, like K-A-Y-N-A?
Yeah.
Kana?
Yeah, K-A-N-E-A. Kana. Kana lives in the northeast corner of the city. It's a big thatched roof. It's the only building in the city that has a beautiful rose bush that surrounds the entirety of the domicile. Tell him that Daj sent you, and he should be able to help.
You said northeast, right?
She goes, oh God, take your shoes off, please, before you go in the house. His partner is very, just take your shoes off before you enter into the house.
Okay.
All right? And that will be better.
How forthcoming should I be?
You won't have to worry about that. Be as forthcoming as you would like. Kana operates under a bit of secrecy when need be. So just tell him that Dash sent you, and tell him to ignore the clothes you're wearing.
Ignore my clothes.
All of your clothes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I know there are prying ears and eyes everywhere.
Take my shoes off and tell him to ignore my clothes.
Oh God, no,
Got
not
it.
like that. No, I just, and she immediately covers her eyes, and you see a bit of red start to form on her cheeks, and she's like, no, I'm bad at peopling. I would rather speak through the bearded dragons. So, yes, Kana will take care. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
And gather my things, and
Thank you for your help.
Yes. Do any of you have any questions regarding Port Damali? Good. Yes. Very well. I will. Can I stay here tonight? Not with you necessarily, but just
Oh yes.
with you all.
I mean, I don't want to speak for.
Yeah.
I'll
Yes.
sleep on the floor.
You can take my bed.
Thank you very much. And she nods her head and is going to walk out the door. When she does, the door is going to open up to two individuals that have cups pressed to the door, who were listening somewhat intently. And as she opens the door, there's a... Oh, I think I dropped. As two of the members of the crew just move away from the spot.
Question: how old does she look? Does she look like very young, or does she look?
She looks mid-30s,
Okay.
early 30s. Heroes, you have a bit of time. Are we taking a short rest? Are we cutting to Port Damali? Is there anything else that you would discuss while you are somewhat in this cabin space? Not amongst friends, but being sort of acquiesced to being transported here. Yes?
Aelin would look at Zara and say, "What's Dunamancy?
Oh, time magic.
Like change time?"
Yes.
Give me an intelligence check.
Oh, well, that's not gonna go. Oh, no, it's not bad.
This is gonna go terribly. Hey, all right.
It's a 14 minus 1, so 13.
This is not something that you encounter, especially not but with your background and
Right.
things of that sort. But it does plant a little seed in your head of, okay.
Okay. Did you guys see those bearded dragons?
Of all the
Yes.
things that happened in that conversation, you are transfixed upon a bearded dragon.
They were really nice.
They are very, very nice. I like
And
them.
I heard Dunamancy.
I appreciate
Crack my
your
book until
willingness
it's
to
time to
know
go to
one.
sleep.
Define book.
The one I stole.
Okay.
Illicitly borrowed.
Great. You crack open the book and start to read. It's the texture feels good in your hands, and it's just got a very pleasant feel to it. This is the story about how my life. No. This is the story of a very ingenious gambler by the name of Karath. Karath figured out a way to cheat at cards and was always trying to crack the code on cheating cards. Used to work on sleight of hand, then played around with illusion stuff, and then stumbled upon a spell. And that he couldn't quite define. He only referred to it as his wrist pocket. And what he did was, he spent 5 years of his life buying up as many decks of cards as he could and hiding them in this dimension. And what he does is this book details, magic-wise, how to access the dimension. And so what this is you have, it's a very short book. How, 2 hours, 3 hours you spent reading it?
Till it's time to go to sleep.
Till it's time to go to sleep. It's the majority of the day. You finish the book. For now, here is the boon that you have accessed. You have the ability for sleight of hand checks, all sleight of hand checks, to be made at advantage. When playing cards, you can make any card manifest out of your hand, disappear one, and have another one appear in your hand as a bonus action. All one movement. You're changing out a card.
Great.
Okay? As you finish the last page and close the book, I need 2 wisdom saves, please.
Great. I'm like super good at those.
I know you are. That's great.
A 3 and a 7. I'm doing great, guys.
You finish the book, you close it, and you're like, man, that's really cool. Okay? And you hear in your head, hello? What? What? What's this? What's this?
Can you? Shh. It's bedtime. You gotta be quiet.
Who is this?
Who is this?
Who is this? I asked you first.
Yeah, but it's my head.
That's fair.
It is fair.
Where are you? Stand by.
I mean, you need. Okay.
Is he saying all this out loud?
Are you?
No.
Okay.
There's a brief pause.
Okay.
You'd say like a minute goes by.
Just enough time to be like, oh, that's weird. Settle in.
You're in the ocean.
Oh, God.
What ocean?
I mean, are you going to answer my first question?
Yes, well, I am a member of the Cobalt Soul. How did you get this book?
That's not what I asked. I mean, I guess it technically is what I... Let me rephrase. What's your name?
My name is Laranath. And this book has been missing from the restricted section for over 74 years.
I mean, it's kind of waterlogged. I assume it came from somewhere under the water.
Stand by.
Oh, okay.
Another minute goes by. Another minute goes by. 3 minutes go by.
Great.
You don't hear anything.
Cool. Just lay back down.
Okay.
Just as you're about to go off to sleep.
right before you're to sleep. So listen about that book. Poor Damali.
I'm just... Can I go to sleep?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
We'll be waiting on the docks.
Can we just talk about this in the morning? Just... Good night.
Yes.
I'm very tired.
Before Ulvar leaves, he's going to go up to Zara and grab her hand just to examine her wrist. And just to see like where that lady or the person had touched, that orc.
Okay.
Touched.
Yeah.
And just wants to look at it just for a second before he leaves the room and goes to take her rest.
Give you an investigation.
My wrist doesn't look any different, does it?
As you look.
It's a 14, but...
It looks like a wrist.
It's weird how your wrist looks like a wrist, but...
What are you looking at?
Did you prefer it to look like a door knocker?
Is there still people in the room?
Everybody.
Yeah,
We're all sleeping in here, so...
I imagine this is right before that. Elatria has been reading all day long. Like, Elatria has a book he's not been able to put down.
Got it.
Aelin just keeps talking about how he wants a bearded dragon. It's a lot.
He's not going to answer your question. He's just going to
I imagine she was just trying to feel my pulse, I guess, to tell if I was telling the truth or not. I don't know. I don't think she did anything to it.
Perhaps later we'll have this conversation again. Perhaps later we'll have more time.
Do you think she did something?
Perhaps later we will have this conversation again. Perhaps we'll have more time where I can speak to you. Or privately, perhaps.
Now I'm going to be suspicious and I'm going to be thinking of it all night.
Isn't that the worst when somebody in the party's like, I need to talk with you, but I can't talk to you now, and you're just like all day, you're like, just give me a sending. What do you want to talk?
So it's gonna be like, I assure you it is nothing too terrible, but I do.
Well,
have
that's even worse. I wasn't even thinking it was terrible.
But then
It's not too terrible. Is it a little terrible?
well, there's something I really wish to speak to you in more private quarter, perhaps, instead of in front of everybody else.
I drag him out the door and around the corners of the most private place we can find.
That would be this room.
Investigation checks. You're on board a ship with angry pirates. Give me an investigation
Terrible
check.
idea.
On the record, I'm sleeping crossed over my floor with the chest on my lap and my head on my arms on top of the chest.
You are that guy on the airplane, like that's like mine. Like you
My
got
pillow.
you
Look,
got the
there
At
are
least it was
scratches on
that
this
one.
chest from where pirates tried to open it, and no.
no. What was
It
it?
was a nat 20, and I have a +5 to investigation, so
Oh,
it was a
look at you.
25.
Yeah, you know what? I will reward that. When I roll perception for everybody on the ship, I'm gonna knock 2 off.
All right,
Wow.
the guy is hired and he's gonna kill 2 pirates.
I'll do the mercy killing.
Yeah, you think you find a really out of the way spot that's tucked away near the back. That's a little like alcove that
Sure.
the two of you could go have a conversation at.
What is it?
I was noticing that she had touched your wrist.
Yes.
Was she perhaps looking for something upon it?
No, I think she was trying to feel my pulse.
Now, the reason why I ask, and forgive me for being too forward, I'd spent my long life being a slave to a person who was quite deviant.
Yes.
It seems as though that you have become a slave to something very similar. You were mentioning these things of the history of this place that you had been,
Yes.
and perhaps this thing called a library. Is this a place that you are slaved to, that you could not leave?
No, it's a place full of books, and I was there to learn.
Were you meant to learn? Is this something you'd wished to do?
Yes,
Which one?
I wished to learn by looking at the books and learning from the teachers.
And you could have left at any time you wished.
Well, yes, but also... Well, yes, I suppose I could have if I wanted to.
But you don't sound too sure.
Well, because, I mean, if you're in a school, they don't really encourage you to come and go whenever you want to, but I could have if I wanted to.
Now, it is the wrist that I find most curious. Because I was given a similar marking by my enslaver.
But I didn't get a mark.
He's going to point to his face.
Oh, somebody did that to you on purpose?
When I was quite young, it was the sign of property.
That's terrible.
But it is a part of me now. And I just was looking at you to see if you were not part of property as well.
No. Do you want that gone?
No, on the contrary. There's something that has built for who I am today. And I do not feel that if it was taken away, it would make me any less or worse of a person.
But does it remind you of something unpleasant?
No, because I remember one truth. That the gods are with me, and they had spared me from this horrible person. And it is a sign of my faith to the gods.
So it reminds you of the things that you've overcome.
It's exactly that, yes.
Okay.
Just want to make sure that you do not have a similar marking.
No.
Because I could help and guide you in that way.
Well, thank you.
And I'll just turn around and...
Cool. You turn around and you see Borith, who's not too far away at this point. And Borith is flanked by 2 people that you haven't interacted with before that look eerily similar to one another. One looks a little bit more disheveled in the appearance, and the other one looks just a little bit more clean cut, as it were. And Borith goes, "You're out of your chambers."
And you are stalking in places you ought not.
I'm going to need you to pay for your passage.
I feel as though that, as you've asked me to pay, we have done much by means of payment for this, not only your captain, but for your crew.
You think so?
I know so.
Would you like me to ask the captain then?
And he's going to pull out the earring. If you'd wish to upset your captain over something as trivial as this, then sure.
I need a dex check from you.
Nat 20.
Hey, nice.
You see Boreth shoot a hand out, not to grab it, but just to smack your hand so that it goes spiraling into the ocean. But so he goes smacking underneath your hand, and you manage to close your hand underneath. And he goes, "You have a piece of metal. Get back to your chambers, or pay for passage."
And I appreciate you. And I shall return. He's just gonna stare him down at that long, dirty stare where it's like,
"Cool,
I'll do this, but I'm doing this on my own accord, not because you told me to.
Yeah.
Because I want to."
So you walk away?
Yeah.
You need to pay for passage.
And stops right there.
We nearly died, and your captain acted less than honorable. We are going back to our room now.
Are you?
Yes.
Says who?
Says me. We don't have any money anyway. Your captain wouldn't pay us for the work we did.
Deception check?
You gonna use that inspiration?
Yes, I'm using that inspiration.
Okay.
20.
Right. All right, then. Then maybe it'd be best if you didn't treat this like your own personal cruise ship and stayed in your quarters.
Oh, we're not allowed to talk. Fine. We'll go back to our quarters.
He will look at the two of you, and as you walk, he will walk one step behind you, all the way back to your quarters.
Fair enough.
After we go into the quarters, I'm going to say, I don't like him.
Yes?
While they were gone.
Yes?
I'd pull out the book I have and go over to Aelin.
Okay. Aelin's past. I think it's been established. No? Aelin's up?
He's not asleep yet. He needs to pray before he goes to sleep.
Okay.
Can you help me with something real quick? And I'll, show him the book. Can you read this? I think it's in Elvish.
I take a look at the book.
Okay.
And
This is definitely not an Elvish.
it's not an Elvish.
No.
Do you know what it's in?
Not Elvish. Or common.
Okay.
I mean, I want to ask, does Elvish share, some similarities to, Sylvan? Would Aelin know that?
It does. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Gee, if only somebody you knew had a spell for this.
I'm angry at you.
It's also true.
There's a lot of people angry.
It's an entire ship.
Please.
It's like a ship and a half, actually.
It's not Elvish, but it might be Sylvan. It looks kind of like Elvish.
Great. You don't speak Sylvan, do you?
I'm passed out.
Okay. Don't tell Zara about this. I don't want her dealing with this right now. And I'll put the book back.
Don't tell.
I need a wisdom save.
A wisdom?
Yeah.
16.
Lion's bad.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not too
Right.
crazy bad.
But what if she asks?
Do
Do I not tell her about the book, or do I not tell her about the Sylvan? Do I not tell her that you talked to me?
She won't know.
What part do I tell her?
She won't know any of it, so you don't have to. You won't have to worry about it.
Then why did you say don't tell her?
Because I don't want you just telling her.
Why would I just tell her that you showed me a book?
Exactly. Please don't.
All right, you guys return back in. You enter in.
Okay, when we walk in, what is the
The atmosphere of the room
Atmosphere.
is, some people are sleeping, some people are saying their night prayers. However, from the floor where you hear a half-orc voice being, "Oh my God, your brother has a book. He doesn't want you to know about it,
Are
and
you
Alien is about to
kidding
go
me?
insane. Everyone, go to sleep, please."
You have a book?
I didn't tell her.
Thank you.
Everyone can mark down the
You saw the book? What was in the book?
I take out the book and I throw it at her.
Okay.
Here. Hits her right in the head button.
Good night. I'm just gonna go to bed.
Okay.
I'm done with this.
I believe you didn't tell me about a book.
Going to bed.
Where did you get the book?
I'm in bed. Aelin would just pray to Melora and apologize for failing her.
Give me a D20.
An 11.
You feel her presence as you pray to her, and there's no clear message, but you feel her presence all around you.
Bolivar's doing the mark of the hammer on Aelin's head.
Yeah.
And just wishing him good night. And to you, my son.
Sleep.
Sarah's going over to Dev and going, Dev?
If you do not go to
Janice.
sleep, I will hit you in the
Janice.
head.
Stop.
Stop.
Serafina.
Silence. Cast on the room, in a dome, from the floor. Silence on everything.
I'm glaring directly at Zara.
I'm mouthing thank God and then going to bed.
All right. Everybody else going to sleep.
I'm looking at the book before I go to sleep.
Okay. You cannot read the language.
Okay.
Inherently, you cannot read the language.
I cast Comprehend Language.
Do you still have that free spell slot from yesterday?
That's the weird thing
This
is
is still
I
the
have
day
not
of the
yet
battle.
I have not yet taken that long rest, but it's still showing that it's showing that I have those because we took a short rest.
Okay.
That's because I have that spell slot open. So, if I cast Comprehend Languages, can I read
Absolutely. The words begin to.
Is it a vocal? Do you need voice
Oh.
to do that spell?
Shoot.
Not to cause problems for you, but
Yeah,
do you
no,
need
no,
that?
that's fair. That's fair. Verbal, somatic, material components.
Yeah.
So I can't speak out loud?
Nope.
Unless this is
Crap.
part of your warlock, unless this is like an invocation and not a spell.
But he's the one that cast the spell, right?
No.
No, she didn't.
She did.
Go. She would mouth.
Okay, I'm at least looking through the pictures.
Okay. Look through the pictures. There are some pretty weird looking pictures in here. The pictures are of an individual staring into what looks to be like an abyss. I will send you a list of the pictures that you see in this book.
Okay.
The writing alongside the edges and any writing that you see on the pages, the majority of the book is writing, does not look like any language that you would recognize.
Okay.
Silence ends after 10 minutes.
Yeah, I definitely looked at that book for more than 10 minutes. Okay. Comprehend languages. I'm probably going to read this really late.
Go to bed, Serafina.
Can I skim a little bit before I go
No,
to sleep?
the book says go
The
to
book
bed,
says go to-
Serafina.
Like, even
Every
if I flip
line,
pages?
all, you know, what is it? Make Jack a dull boy, whatever the thing
All
is.
work and no
All
play
work
makes
and no
Jack a
play,
dull
make
boy.
Jack a dull boy, go to bed, Serafina. Serafina, go to bed. Different incarnations of Serafina, go to bed.
Oh my
Serafina,
gosh.
go to bed.
Okay, I close it. I hug it to me as tight as I can, and I go to sleep.
Okay. You go to sleep.
And I perch it under me a little bit too, so that if my arms loosen up, I'm gonna feel it if it goes
Everybody
away.
look down a long rest. You find yourselves in Port Damali. It is you are unceremoniously yeeted. It is very early in the morning, off of the ship. There is no fanfare. There is no fond goodbye. The crew is lined up. The Captain of Three Earrings does not come out of her chambers. The dock.
False advertising nowadays. She only has the two.
Yes. Captain Two. Oh, hate it. I hate it so much. Captain Two Earrings does not come out of her quarters. You all find yourselves at the dock of Port Damali, the bustling port town that it is. It doesn't matter what time of day it is or what time of night, it is always thriving and moving. You arrive around 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning. Currently, you just see a harbor master and a few other individuals that are leaving their ships and making their way about the town.
Breakfast?
As you are dropped off, without saying a word to you once you've gotten to the dock, you would see your friend pull her hood up, look at you, and give you a small smile and nod and mouth good luck, and then disappear off into the city streets.
Thanks again.
If I caught the dwarf woman's eye on the way out, I was gonna give her a wink on my way off the ship.
Oh God. Yeah. You catch her. She's there with the rest of the group, and you give her a
Oh, I
little
bet
wink.
she's sitting right next to her husband, Balthus.
Yeah. You give her a little wink. Yeah. She looks at you.
Let's just wink in passing.
Okay. Yeah. 15 to hit.
Meets it, beats it.
Okay, 15 to hit. As you are walking down the gangplank, it feels just like a ball-peen hammer. It comes out of nowhere and just hits you in the square of the back. It just hits, and as you...
Oh, wait. Can I attempt to catch?
You can't. Give me a perception check at disadvantage.
Cool.
As I think that you are a little preoccupied, just to see if you spot it coming.
Yeah, no, I don't.
You get hit in the back, and you turn around, and you see her standing on the ship, and she just goes...
I pick up the hammer, put it in my belt. Thank you. Nakashang.
Okay.
I've got a hammer.
Welcome to Port Damali! Port Damali is going to be the place where you guys hang out for a little bit. If you are interested in getting this chest delivered to or with the contents of the chest delivered to the right people, you will be here for a spell. So you have the teeming area of Port Damali, and here's the map. For everybody on Twitch, you can see this awesome map, and thanks to Alcaboozebender and the hard work of some of the other people on the channel, we have markers. So when you all invariably split up and go to different spots,
When do we do that?
bound to happen.
When do we do that?
You all, I have little markers so that I can. That's super rude. It's gonna happen. I have markers for you. I have markers for the enemy. I mean, the other points of interest in the town. And so this area is thriving. Those of you that have been here once before, you would kind of understand how things go here. How it breaks down and such that the Tumble Downs are mainly a district where most of the individuals here at Port Damali live. A lot of houses clumped together. A lot of the crime and things that happen when a lot of people are stressed out and living in one sort of clump together. So that happens in the Tumble Downs. Bearded Alley is named as such because Beaded Alley is named as such because of the signs that hang with small ribbons and beads and such, signifying the different districts and the areas that you're able to go to. The crescents are where a lot of the temples are. You get a little bit more affluent as you make your way over to that area. The Gilded Esplanade is the home of one of the most prestigious auction houses across the land. This place is the go-to place to find religious artifacts and objects of power and things of that sort. Like, this is the creme de la creme. A lot of the rich live here in the Gilded Esplanade. Larboard Light is connected to the docks in some way, but however, the dock area before you get to that central Larboard Light is where it's a little bit shady. You see a lot of soldiers like, we've only got a couple of hours, we're going to hit these spots. Larboard Light is more timeshares. The rich have summer homes here at Larboard Light, and they can usually spend a little bit of time there as well. So when you were given directions on where to go to, you were given directions to a small home located in the Tumble Downs near the, I believe it was the northwest? Northeast of, yes, the northeast, and I'm actually going to put a little marker right there in case anybody is watching. This is the marker, or just whereabouts of where you were given, right alongside this area right here. Okay? It's pretty early. What are we doing?
We need to establish a place where we can sleep properly without being attacked by pirates.
Maybe somewhere that has breakfast?
Yeah, any tavern, something.
Do you know of good places to stay?
I know of cheap places to stay.
This works for me.
How cheap?
How cheap do you want?
Not that cheap?
Can't
Like,
help you then.
I prefer not to get killed in my sleep, or...
What kind of place do you think this is?
Well...
Only half of them are like that. Anyways,
You I'm gonna play along with you here. You know of the cheapest place to stay. Like 70% of the time, you're stabbed every time when you stay at this individual place. Like, Wolfgren, thank you for the gift subs.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you all so much. We appreciate you. The place that you would go to is located. Where do I want to give you? Okay, the place that you stayed at before is located in the Tumble Downs. It's located in the southwest part of the city. It is known as the Rock Bottom Inn. It is it is known for its music, mirth, and mayhem. This place,
likes this place.
if this place has a bar fight every night, or your money back. Just kidding, we're not giving you your money back.
Please, can we stay here?
This is the cheapest place you will be able to find here because rooms become available every time somebody dies.
How cheap is cheap? Let's be specific here.
You would know.
Yeah, cheap as hell, bruh.
Feeling cheap as hell. You know that this place runs about I don't know, let's say 5 copper a night.
Cool.
It's super cheap.
I think maybe we should consider other options.
I want to see this bar fight, and I
But
immediately
then you
start
don't think
making my
that
way
we
to the
should-
door.
We should not give away safety by any means, just for cheapness.
Agreed.
But the bar fights.
I have seen way too many bar fights in my day. We've
But I
seen.
haven't been able to take part in fun.
Well, maybe we could stay in a place that's just a little bit nicer and then go and experience the bar fights and you could
Never
fight
get to do
and
anything
then
I
you
must
could
be
go
fine,
back and
people.
sleep in a bed.
Yes.
Does anyone know much about Port Damali? Because I've traveled with the circus.
You have. You never had to stay in an inn. Like you
No, I
stayed
just
on
meant like the basic layout of Port Damali.
Give me a history check.
I do not. It's a 6.
You built such suspense with this. Yes, you don't really remember.
Okay.
There's not a Port Damali welcome center or something.
Would I remember that there are gardens?
You would remember that there are. What did you get?
A 6.
6.
What is a garden?
It's like
No, you would know that there's gardens. The city is big
Okay.
enough that it's got a little bit of everything. So you're not going to know the names of specific
Right.
gardens because the circus
Okay.
stayed on the outskirts.
Right. Is that place near the gardens?
I have no idea where the gardens are.
So probably not then.
I have no idea where the gardens are.
Aren't there gardens all over Port Damali?
Well,
Did
yeah,
you
but
just never go to the gardens?
well, gardens, but not gardens.
What's the difference?
A tree versus a garden.
went
Someone's
to
backyard
trees,
with
but not to-
plants and a garden.
Oh, okay. You never broke into somebody's backyard to go to their garden?
What do you get up to in your off time?
That's not why I'd break into someone's backyard.
Wait, you were breaking into people's backyards?
No,
Leading
of course
to a bar
not.
fight.
There's no official welcome center. I'm so sorry. There's
Right.
no showcase of Port Damali citrus. Like there's no area.
No, you
I
can't
would,
reference this place.
at this point, I would look at the nearest person.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Oh, okay. No problem. Yeah, you find the nearest person. It looks to be an individual that's just walking along the street. Half-elf man who is looks like he's preparing to open up shop for the day alongside the docks here.
Is there a good place to get breakfast?
Hello.
Hi.
Well, sure. There's plenty of shops that are starting to open. You can just get breakfast at any of the carts that are setting up along the way.
Is there a good place to stay? Where they have breakfast?
Apologies, my friend and I are new in town. We are looking for.
Oh, I was like, you can't stay with me. I don't know you.
No, apologies for the confusion, my friend.
Sure.
We've come down from a little bit further north. We are looking for a place to stay for until, say, the God's Brawl.
Haha, yes. Well, there are quite a few individuals that stay outside of the city. You could camp. That's probably the cheapest if you have coin. Not a lot of coin.
We have some coin enough to make us to then, and then possibly, I mean, who knows what will happen in the God's Brawl? Perhaps I get lucky.
He looks at you and he says, "You might have luck at the Cedar Hearth and Home."
Dakshin, where would you be able to provide directions for this?
Yes, he points in an area and he goes southeast in Beaded Alley, and he points off in a direction. Says you can't miss it. It's the stonework, and there are animal heads all alongside the outside. It's a hunter's lodge.
Dakshin, and I'm going to pass him a silver piece for a stroll.
Thank you. And he nods at
I prefer
you.
as a courtesy. Dakshin.
Yes, he nods at you and goes about his day, continuing to set up shop alongside the dock.
Now, we have another location. It's the Cedar House and Home. A little bit further up. Hopefully this will meet your exacting specifications. Damn it.
My exacting specifications, I just didn't want to get killed in my sleep.
Who says
I
we were going to
also
get
would
killed?
like
I
to
could
not
have had
get
a
killed in my
fight.
sleep.
I mean, he's right. We could just get tents.
I do not mind being in a tent because I'm less conspicuous and I can be less an inconvenience.
I'm not sleeping in a tent.
I am sleeping in an actual bed for the first time in over a week.
Also, we're gonna be here for a while. Maybe we should look for work.
Yes.
Perhaps. Go ahead.
Yes. Go check it out.
Well, I was more thinking that
If you're going to catch up, that would be good.
Has Simon taken off?
Oh yeah, tap
Debbie.
on the shoulder.
I'm following.
Simon and Dev take off.
I'm following.
I'm walking
Yeah.
over to Elatrion.
I'm following them.
Yep.
Do you think that this might be a place that we could probably look for? They say that bounties are a good place to start in a new place.
Who says that?
Yeah, like, who says this?
Well, when I was back home, I heard a lot of the merchants come through, and they were talked about getting bounties, people who had done awful things to society, that we could bring them to justice. Maybe you could help me with this.
Oh, I already have work. So.
Then I shall do this alone.
Okay.
No,
Good luck.
perhaps we check in, find a place to stay, and then we can ask the innkeeper or whoever is there about finding work.
Perhaps this is a good idea.
Yes.
Quite.
I mean, he did say it's a hunting lodge, so like maybe you could find some
Hunting.
hunting.
I am a ranger.
Yes. Do you have a bow and arrow? You can shoot like animal. Yes, you can hunt.
It is.
That's
I don't. We're both speaking common.
that is what it's for, right?
It is more of a weapon that I have been trained for, not solely for.
What do you think hunting is?
Hunting is a sport for people who have nothing else to do.
You
I
gotta,
can't-
What if you have
you
to
gotta
Still
eat.
hunting for food.
I was doing it for nourishment
Yeah.
because we had to.
This is hunting, yeah?
No, this is bringing
We'll go
people.
find what kind of hunting it is. If it's for food, you can probably get some work. If not, you can find your criminals to bring to justice.
Thank you, Lachian.
I'm here to help, I think.
You begin to walk. After a fair bit of time, with directions given to you, you find your way to the Cedar Hearth and Home. You recognize the Cedar Hearth and Home by the stonemasonry outside of this large one-story building with the odd collection of monster heads outside of the building. You would see all sorts of manner of beast and beastie that have been taxidermied and sort of mounted, but normally these would be put over the hearth of a home. These are mounted outside to attract individuals.
Would you say it's a large manner of monstrosities?
Yes. You immediately, as you walk
I'm
up, you're
pointing out,
like,
just be like, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, like.
you walk in to the hearth and home, and before you is a very large desk. There is no bar. It's not a tavern / inn. The area that you see has been decorated specifically to represent a very warm log cabin. There is a very large fireplace, which is the center of the hearth and home. Over the fireplace is what looks to be something that has been skinned and is roasting over the fire with a very large spit that is cooking it right out in the open. The smell of cooked meat is there, and you see a gnomish woman who is standing on a little step ladder, and she is sprinkling what looks to be salt and pepper, perhaps some other spices, over this thing, while what looks to be two gnomish children are trying to turn this crank, but one of them's really short, so he kind of goes up with him, like comes down as they're turning this crank, and you see another gnome at this desk. While individuals are starting to wake up, the individual and clientele that you see are wearing clothes that don't befit the weather here for Port Damali. While some of them are wearing the coastal clothing and things of that sort, and some of the clothing that you would see outside, some of them are dressed very oddly and sitting in this area next to the fire and
Mottled
speaking.
greens and browns.
Mottled greens and browns winter parkas are sitting next to individuals that are currently having conversations where all they are wearing is the smallest of shorts or pants and things of that sort, and they have very dark skin and are engaged in conversation. Many of them are carrying their weapons out in the open and are having these conversations, but all of the dress is disproportionate and busy as all of these individuals move about the space.
Okay.
Yeah, this is better.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, may I help you? Welcome to the Hearth and Home.
Thank you. How much are rooms?
Here at the Hearth and Home, we sell our rooms. Are you visiting? Are you here to work?
We have both.
Both?
Maybe?
Oh, yes. Well, I would say 2 or 3 silver per room, but depending on the amount that you bring in, we deduct money off. Here at the Cedar Hearth and Home, you eat what you kill. And the bigger the kill, the more you are able to supplement your having to stay here.
This is a very interesting business model.
Thank you. I pride myself. My father was a hunter.
Ah, yeah.
And do you by chance have beasts of prey that you are looking for to supplement this cost?
Oh, aye. Turn around. And as you turn around and look at the door in which you walked in, you would see alongside the wall are 2 very large parchments, like rolls of parchment. They almost look like bolts of fabric that have been rolled out from where the door is this way, and occasionally a creature will bound onto the fabric. It is an image of a creature or a beast. Occasionally it'll be the image of a man. An individual will see it, and you'll notice this happen one time as what looks to be a really large looking, I'll give this to you, a really large looking griffin bounds onto this 2D image of a griffin bounds onto this. You see a few individuals talking. One of them elbows the other one, and he looks at it and he shakes his head. And then you see a couple more individuals that kind of run in and they look. And he goes, yes. And he takes his hand and he puts it against the fabric like this. And the griffin goes right alongside the underneath of the arm. And they set out.
Is this something I would have seen before, like owning a inn tavern myself? Or at least being a part in that world? Like, is this something I would have seen before?
Give me a history check, as you are trying to recall your time at the tavern.
14.
14. Your inn or tavern was not this, I say high tech,
Sure.
but it was not this nice. You had a little hole in the wall up north where you were lucky. Oh my gosh, we had 6 people come in today. I get to eat meat today. Like, you were very excited to be this. This is in a port area. Now, with a 14, there is a guild, the Hunters Guild, which was bandied about and talked about, where you saw individuals wearing very similar clothes to this, that would occasionally come in, rent a room, kill something, keep it out in the snow, say thank you, walk out, and never come back.
Sure. Gotcha.
Yes, so, are you interested in getting a room?
Yeah, I would like to rent a room to the God's Brawl, please.
Oh, till the God's Brawl.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm sure we can work out some sort of discount then. You're saying here for 20 days. Is it just one room for till the God's Brawl?
Same, but just a few days after, just in case we need to stick around.
If I need to extend my stay, I'm sure this will not be a problem.
I'm happy to share a room with you if you want to save the money. I mean, I know you wanted to stay in cheaper accommodations.
How big
It'll
are
just
your
be me.
rooms? How big are your rooms?
Not.
Oh, like we don't have the money.
He looks you up and down. He looks you up and down, and he goes, "This. Are you wearing your cloak, Zerafina?"
Yes.
Okay. And he looks you up and down, and at the way you're speaking, he goes, "This may not be the most appropriate place, as you're brand new to the city, but you are welcome to stay. As always, we will take your money. But if you feel uncomfortable, you might be better suited for another domicile.
You don't like girls?
No, we just...
No.
No, I'm not saying that. No, yes, we like girls. I love girls. Many girls that I've loved. And you hear the woman that's roasting the meat go, enough, hand floor? And she says, yes. No, I love women, all women, equally, and men have been known to love. And she coughs again, and he's like, let me explain. We will take your goals. A room.
Where are you suggesting we stay?
Which floor?
You're interrupting.
22 days, we'll say.
Yeah.
22 days as well.
He practically asked me to leave.
He also was very confused by the way it was questioned.
18 silver?
This sounds fair. I would also like to imply that I am a leather worker, in case you have need of such things around the lodge.
Good to know. 18 gold. Or 18 silver. Apologies.
I was about to say.
Sorry.
Give him 18 silver.
As I mentioned, what you shoot, you are able to eat, and you are able to enjoy and cook it here on the hearth and contribute to a massive collection of meat and food.
I have done quite a bit of work in fletching. Perhaps there might be other needs for fletchers here.
I think there's been a mistake. We deal with hunters here. I'm sure I can ask around for leather work and fletching, but
This is fine. I'm more interested in the decoration than the hunting.
Of course.
If it's for hunters, they not need arrows.
They do.
Then fletching might be a probable profession, or at least something to help, yes?
Let me be perfectly clear. If you, as an independent contractor, would like to go and ask if anyone needs your services, you're welcome to do so. You won't receive a discount from me because you make me the pointy arrows.
And he's gonna. I'm so like he's gonna just gesture to people. I'm so sorry. I do not mean to offend. Like I just wish
not offending. No, don't misunderstand. I want your money.
I will gladly give it. I graciously give it. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to offend you.
Yeah.
Helen's just gonna hand her 18 silver.
he takes
hand him 18 silver.
He takes 18 silver and just said, we are running low on rooms here. They are usually based on, I don't know how many. I'm sure I can accommodate if you're all staying by yourselves.
I think 3 is 4.
He won't share with you. You want to split a room?
Sure.
I will share with any person that wishes to, and if not, I will sleep outside.
I just want
Oh,
breakfast.
you didn't ask. You stay in the
Breakfast. Yes, we killed the bear. And you see a few individuals that have gathered plates and utensils and are now queued up in front of the hearth as the bear is being carved up and pieces are being given to people. You see there's also a collection of vegetables, root vegetables, and things of that sort where the utensils are. Yes, you're lucky. A few weeks ago, we only had a few rambunctious kobolds.
Aelin's already grabbed a plate and is running.
Yes,
I'm going to put my things in my room, and then I'm going to go have a look about town.
All right.
Ulva, you will be staying with me.
She, the woman by the hearth, coughs, and he nods his head and goes over and switches with her, and she will walk up the little step stool that you guys didn't see that's behind it. She goes, "Please forgive my husband. He puts his foot in his mouth more than he should. He didn't mean any offense by it. It's just that we don't get a lot of
Yes.
intellectuals.
Oh, smart people don't stay here.
No.
This is going to be insulting to them.
People who don't contribute. Dear, you're not holding any...
You think I can't contribute because I'm an intellectual?
No. I'm worried about you because you're not wearing any armor and you're not carrying any large weapons.
Perhaps I have other skills.
Perhaps you do.
But perhaps I can take care of myself.
Perhaps you can. I'm not wearing armor and carrying weapons, and if any of these mess with me, I'll punch them in the gonads.
I'll
I like
help.
this one.
Yeah. So, prove them wrong. You're fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. She looks over at you, and as she does that, you see a few individuals that are in line and sitting at the random spots, the comfortable couches, the furs that are spread everywhere in this open area, just sort of whispering and looking over at the counter.
I'd like to go to the room now.
All right, you all head towards the room. The rooms are bare bones. All right, the rooms have 2 beds for the most part that are just single beds. You see the floor and ceilings are adorned with furs of different animals and such, almost as if we hope you like furs because that's what a lot of things are made of here. The blankets, the duvets, the coasters, tiny little squirrels, heads included. Sorry, Fix and Dash. Like, this place is like, no,
All the bath scale.
I gotta play this. Shower curtains all have a chameleon on them.
Weird.
Because this is my fantasy. No, so,
Made out of chameleon.
However, I will say that there are some amenities in these rooms of which you are not used to. Some of you may not be. On the backside of every door are weapons holders. Some that you would normally see in an inn. There are whetstones. On a lot of the areas so you can sharpen your weapons and things of that sort. There's even a bag of holding which looks to be attached to the front of the door. Each room has a bag of holding in it, and you see that there is a drop pouch for armor, and it gives 3 different levels of slightly soiled, very soiled, or I was inside the belly. Like, where you can drop your armor off at night.
Yes!
You drop your armor off at night, you don't know how it's done, but it's cleaned, and then it's put back in the bag.
That's awesome. I love
So-
this place. This place is awesome.
So, but yeah, you go to your rooms, you set up, you drop your things off.
Putting the chest underneath my bed.
Who am I sharing with?
You tell me.
Am
Who's
I
sharing
sharing with
your
you or
room?
is you
I've
two
got
are?
my own room.
It's me and Zara.
Dev's got a room. I need one of you to mark down silver for me. The
I can take
22
care of it.
silver.
You just want to split it?
18 still?
22, 18.
Depending on how many days that you're.
Okay.
22 days would be.
He's giving a discount. Is everybody marking down the 26? So give me 18 silver across the board. Almost like you negotiated the discount for everybody.
Okay.
All right. So a room is 18 silver. Now, here's how things work. If you're bringing in meat, you eat for free.
Okay.
This is why the rooms are so cheap. If you're not bringing in meat,
You pay for your meals.
it's an extra silver a day because you're working off of the hunting that's being taken place. Like, if everybody contributes, then nobody has to pay a lot. But if you're not contributing, then you're a tourist.
Then you're contributing in other ways.
Almost as if there's a big sign that says "No effing tourist."
Yep.
You know, right when you walk in. Okay.
Is this you said it's 18 silver a day or is that
18 silver for the
the
run.
trip? Okay.
This is not a place where you're going to be able to order room service and things of that sort.
Hey, math.
If you've got 200,
minus.
just take 1 gold off and then add 1 silver back on. If you're doing are you doing half of the room or are you paying for the
I
full
was paying
room?
for the full room.
Dev's got a room.
Aelin has a room.
Aelin
10
has his
silver
own room.
is 1 gold. So
Okay.
so
Ulvar
just
and
take
Simon
off
are
2 of your
splitting.
gold and add 2 silver back.
Ulvar.
You should just be able to
If
take
if
18
Aelin
silver.
I
is okay
tried it
to
and it
be
didn't work.
alone,
Didn't work
Stupid.
on my end either.
Yeah.
then I will let him be to his device and I will
So take
go
off
over
2,
it
add
with
Take
Simon.
off 2 gold, add 2
So
silver.
2
Okay.
solo 2.
Got it.
Cool. Awesome. You are all on the same floor. It's a 1-story place. You are actually located. Somebody here, give me a number 1 through 4.
6.
4.
3.
1 through 4, and you said 6?
First one that came to my
3.
head, he said 3 divided by 2. Done.
No.
Cool. This is neat. The decorations alongside
Math is
the
hard.
walls and a door at the very end of the hallway marks. Think jungle motif. It's not huge. We're not thinking like a Disney room, but think jungle, like leaves painted and things of that sort. Down this hallway, almost as if there's four corners, north, south, east, west. Down the other hallway, because you would have walked down, you would have seen a desert area. The little images of sand and things of that sort, with a door at the end of that hallway that is painted and decorated to be that of sand.
Gotcha.
All right.
Well, I am off to go have a look at tempers.
This is the temples, you say?
Yeah, the whole Godsboro thing is to do with the gods. And I've come specifically for the Godsboro.
And he's just gonna like grab the hammer necklace that he's created. Like, do you think that perhaps they might have more than here as well?
It is more than likely. He is a central figure in the Godsboro. Come.
To the old hammer be praised.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to take care of the box before we go?
Box is underneath my bed.
I'm aware.
If you guys want to catch me before I head out, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, you guys are just leaving? You're not
Yeah.
telling us?
No.
Okay.
I mean, like, if we're leaving, I'm telling Aelin we're leaving. Like,
Cool.
I
Everybody
can't leave
meets
him
up.
behind.
It's one of those weird, like when you go to a big like resort, like, hey, we're gonna meet up in the lobby in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Can we make it 15 so I can just get settled? And so
Make it
in
20 for the
15
shower.
Yeah, 20 for the shower. In 20 minutes, everybody meets back up in the lobby, and everybody gets their fill of breakfast: root vegetables and roasted bear.
Sure.
Nice.
Roasted bear. And so
It's a little greasy, but it's good.
It's, you just got to bear down. And so you have a little. I'm taking $1 million for that. No, you can stop.
Yeah.
You all meet up in the lobby, and the two of them decide that they're going to go to the temples and discover some of the temples.
Then I will say again, do we want to take care of the box before we go?
What do we need to do with the box?
It's got stuff in it that you guys need? I mean, I don't really care. But
Is it
it's
safe?
one less thing we suddenly have to keep watching or care about. That's on y'all.
What should we take
The
out of it?
There was a ring and a statue he said to sell and a necklace and some rocks.
I mean, the thing that we're getting rid of later, we
That
should probably
stays
leave
the
in there.
box.
Yeah. Well, there's
But the rest of the
items
stuff we
to
can
say.
take out.
Yeah, fine.
Well, should we not separate these things and say?
Give me a moment. I will go back and get the box and bring it back.
You're bringing it out to the lobby?
I feel like as he leaves,
I'm-
we'll just be like,
I'm
let's all go
following.
together.
We all
Let's
go.
all go to the
Let's all go to the lobby.
You all head into the room. You grab the box. Where is that box, by the way?
It's over here.
It's over there?
It's over here.
Great. Inside the box are several things as you open up the box. The first and foremost thing that you see in this box is that small pouch right there. Inside the pouch are the tote markers that he promised you all in a letter. Each of you get one. The right people will know what it is. The wrong person will not. So these are used at your own risk. They are part of a secret sect that's all he mentioned. in the
Markers
letter.
representing who he is, basically.
Yep.
Like, okay.
Who's getting those?
There's a dagger.
That stays in the box.
Don't touch
Yeah,
it.
we'll
It's
put
wrapped
that
up.
back.
Okay.
They were all wrapped up.
Yep. The little gold
Good
statue.
point.
You can sell, not inherently magical. Necklace of Adaptation. There is a magic item card in there as well, which will detail the uses for that. Inside the pouch with the markers is the ring. That's also where you will find the information on that magical item as well. One of the stones of Thar speech. This allows you to cast the sending spell between two stones. Think once a day walkie-talkies. So if the group splits up and yeah, like we're in trouble, help.
I assume that's the other one.
Yes.
That's it.
Yep. The knife is wrapped up in cloth. It's about yay big. It doesn't look like there's you see no pointy end to it. It is wrapped up in cloth.
And it stays in the box.
Was anyone planning on going shopping?
Not myself.
Well, I wanted to talk to the person that Kana.
Hmm?
But I'm happy to go to the temples first, and then we could all go together, or we could go with maybe 3 and 3. I mean, I could go by myself. I'm not scared or anything.
But do not wish in a foreign place like this that we should be going by
Inside
ourselves.
check.
Give me an insight check.
I'm sure she's fine. That's an 8 total.
It's a big city.
You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing.
I mean, I know what these are, right?
Well, yeah, they were listening to the letter.
Okay. I mean, we could go 3 and 3 and retake these.
This is a good plan.
I'd like to talk to you anyway. I mean, I know you don't want to talk to me, but at some point you're going to have to.
I'm going to edge myself onto the temple goer side.
It's not going to be awkward unless he makes it awkward.
Well, I was going to go to the temples anyway.
And who is it that you are looking for in a temple?
Fine. Why don't you go to the temples? You can leave your sister all by herself in a strange city that only you have been in to go find somebody she doesn't know anything about. Go ahead.
I haven't said what I'm doing yet.
I mean, but she said it was okay. Do you want to go hunting?
I'll help you find that stupid thing.
I'll help you find the stupid. It's the most brother-sister thing ever.
I just.
All right.
I just thought
Can I
someone was
transfer that? Can I transfer karma to Dev because of that?
Yes, you can. Karma has been
Great.
transferred. You get karma.
Just for the brother sister
Yeah,
moment.
right. All right. Who's going to the temples? Okay.
Wow.
Who is going?
You guys can all come.
Who is going to the contact that was established earlier, and possibly other places as well?
Oh, I'm not Cobalt Salt. I don't care.
Guess that's
Kanan.
us.
You're staying behind at the inn.
I wanted to go hunting, but
Can I
if
go
my
with you if you go? Let me go with you when you go.
if my options are go to the temple
No,
or hang out with them,
My dudes, please
Yeah,
go
you
by
guys-
yourselves
Hey,
in the
listen,
big
have
city.
fun.
Like,
Aelin would not go by himself. That's what I'm saying.
okay.
Like, so he would just decide to go with one of these two parties. And if his choices are hang out with the fighting siblings
Tell you
or
what.
go to the temple,
Understand that Laura.
I'm
sure
taking
would love your
the
place.
communication thing. One of
Yeah.
them.
You're taking one of the communication devices. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll just know.
Do we pretend?
You guys are
We
over
can
6
pretend.
feet away.
It's
It's
okay.
fine. We know.
Just throw it. It's fine.
You can split up 2 and 2. I'm fine with that as well.
Let's do it.
I
Temple
just
corner.
thought that maybe we could do a little work. I mean, I did fail Melora at the last.
We have
place.
all day. I can't imagine that the temples are going to take an entire day.
It's early.
We're not exactly starved for money.
And wouldn't Malor like to hear your benediction?
Melora's everywhere. She hears me every day.
But what better way than to deliver yourself to her in such a kind and like
Maybe
humble
she'll
way?
give me a sign if I go to the temples.
Or you can meet other people that follow her.
I could. I'll go to the temples.
All right.
Do you guys think maybe you could sell this?
We could try.
Yeah. I'll
Dev,
take it.
Dev and Serafina head over there, and the 4 of you are heading towards the temples. All right. As you head out, let's actually start with Dev and Serafina. Dev and Serafina,
Great.
you all leave your. You're pretty close to where this individual was, as you were given directions that this individual lives in the northeast corner of the city, and you begin to make your way over, and it takes you a fair bit of time, but you are able to discover this domicile with the rose bushes that go all the way around it.
On the way, I would be asking him, because I never got to look back into the book, which I would have, but I really didn't get the chance. I would have at least asked where he got this book. I haven't looked at it yet. I mean, it told me to go to bed. It was a little confusing. It was just over and over and over, and I need to cast the spell again to see what it says now, but
The cloak you're wearing was wrapping it.
oh.
So when I took the cloak, it took the book.
The cloak took the book.
Yes, the cloak took the book.
So you think the book was Mom's?
Have you looked at it?
Yes, but it only told me to go to sleep.
Here, give me the book.
We're in the middle of marketplace. I don't want it stolen. I mean, I'd be happy to give it to you.
There's
I'd like
plenty
to
of
read it
people
together.
with books. No one's gonna steal your book.
How do you know? Okay, let's go off into an alley or something like that. I'm very...
Ah, yes, the safe alleys.
Especially if this was Mom's. I don't want anything to happen to it.
Oh. We'll just wait then.
All right.
Why didn't you tell me you had Mom's book?
You didn't ask.
I don't know what it is, and I will show you when we're in a place that you're fine with looking at it.
Okay. Also, I can only cast that spell like maybe once a day, twice high end, and I want to make sure that by the time I do, I can sit down and really see what it says.
Which is why I was trying to figure out what it was before I brought you into it.
Yeah, but you can't read it.
I'm quite aware.
I can. It's just that it said something confusing. So,
I'm also quite
Okay.
aware.
all right. So,
We're there. I'm sure.
Two
by now.
huffy-looking tieflings make their way through the city streets until you see this house.
Voila.
I knock on the door.
You knock on the door. You are greeted with the very large furbolg standing at the door. They have brown fur, a big smile on their face, and they are currently holding 4 small turtles. They look very, very little. They look to be about the size of small dogs. And the turtles are currently like running up and down and like kind of pulling the hair a little bit. And there is this exasperated, yes?
Do they have masks on? I just need to know if they have masks on.
They don't.
Do they look like teenagers?
However, one corner of every shell is painted a color because otherwise the turtles would look identical. But
are the colors red, orange, blue,
they
and
are
purple?
red, orange,
Thank
blue,
you.
and purple.
Fantastic.
Painted in each corner of the and the turtles are just sort of running ripshod over this poor furball, like pulling hair. You see one of them like looks forward and takes out like what looks to be like a fork and like holds it up menacingly and like goes like this and another one is just like grabbing on and like to the chest and holding on there and this furball looks exhausted.
That's so great.
Hello?
Hi.
Are you Kana?
No,
No.
I'm not.
Oh,
Are you here to see Kana?
yes.
Can you take off your shoes, please?
Yes.
Thank you. We're a no-shoes household. Kana, and the furball will move out of the door, says, we're going to take a little break, okay, guys? Can we go play a little bit? And takes off the turtles and puts them, and they go running forward, and one of them grabs a toy from the corner, and they're just sort of talking with one another, but they're at that cute kid phase where it's all just sort of babble and words along those way, and they go running off, and he goes,
I swear you hear Cowabunga on the way out.
yeah, well, weird words like radical and cowabunga, like words that just mean nothing, like, but would probably sell a lot of toys.
The smell of pizza.
You are brought into a living room where you see a man sitting in a very comfortable chair. Human, fairly tall from his seated position. He's got white hair, but his face belays that of a much younger man that just had his hair prematurely go white. He's got a very round face, and the smile lines are already starting to appear as this is someone that smiles a good deal of the day. Kana looks at you, and when he does, he smiles, and it's a very genuine look. However, Kana is missing his eyes. Kana has the area where the eyes would be, you would see are sewed shut. There's no bulge behind them, so I need it almost like it's almost a little depressed in as he looks over in your direction and just sort of smiles a bit. And he goes, do I know you? I don't think I know you.
No, hello. Yes, I'm Zara. Daj sent me.
Daj.
And this is Dev.
As soon as you say Daj, the furball will go over to the door, lock it, and sigh very heavily, and say, I'm going to go make some tea. And walks away and into the kitchen. And you see him sigh as well. He says, yes, Daj sent you. Of course she did.
She told me to tell you to ignore my clothes. I don't know what that means.
She's probably referring to the cobalt soul that you're wearing underneath your cloak.
How did you see? I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend. I don't know how to do this.
He laughs a little bit and smiles, and you would see the little ferret come scurrying out of the corner that pops up and is looking at you from the floor and just kind of looks up. And
Oh, you have a familiar.
And
What's his name?
he scurries around and kind of plops back on the shoulder. This little guy is Danger.
Hello, Danger. He's cute.
Is Danger his middle name?
It is not. I thought about that. And he laughs and Danger bows his head very briefly. So, why did she send you here to me?
Is she... Well...
I'm in a bit of a predicament, and it has to do with time magic. And I was worried.
He closes the book that he's looking at and puts it on the table next to him. He looks genuinely excited as his head turns in your direction, and you see Danger on his shoulder perk up almost to mirror the look of his master as Danger looks at you a little bit. He goes, Dunamancy, are you a practicer?
No.
You're not.
I was affected by it.
He will take a few seconds and you look to see that he is casting. And as he finishes casting, Danger takes one look at you and one look at Dev and scurries behind his master's neck. He goes, whoa, what? Where are you?
Where am I? Right here.
Where? No. When are you?
I'm here. When?
You're...
Here. This.
You're off.
So, I'm somewhere else right now.
He's going to say, no, you've got a passenger, you've got a traveler. And he is going to hold both of his hands out.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
We're gonna fix this thing that's following you so we can see it.
Wait, something's following me? Is this dangerous?
I'm
slide the chair.
Not sure, but it's exciting.
Okay.
And he goes, Silt, honey, can you hold off on the tea and come in here for a second? And the furball comes back into the room and sticks the head in, and he goes, tell me if you see this. And Silt begins to cast. It's a manifestation of detect magic. And he goes, what is that? And he goes, yep. You see it too? He goes, I see it too.
I have a friend that helped me that has to do with this, and I don't want to hurt her.
I don't know, it's not big. What is that? And he shakes his head, and Kana just shakes his head, and he goes, let me see if we can... I promise it won't hurt, and it won't hurt your friend.
Okay. I touch his hands.
You disappear from the room for a brief second. This spell, for those of you who are familiar with Dunamancy, will know exactly what spell was cast as she disappears for just a second. And when you disappear for a second, you come back into the space, and a book is going to fall right by your side where you were and slam into the ground with this big, heavy thud as it hits the ground. It is a large tome that has brown leather bindings around it, and it smells faintly of dirt and sand, and you see an odd-looking bird on the cover of the book. And he looks at you and he smiles and he goes, that's clever. This was hidden 1 second ahead.
The book was hidden 1 second ahead.
No, it was with you, but it was just 1 second ahead of you the entire time.
I'm not surprised it was a book. I'm just disappointed.
Let's cut from that scene.
I'm not mad.
I'm not even surprised.
I'm not sad it's a book, but I'm not happy it's a book either. I need that as happening. Let's cut back to the four of you who are walking along Temple Row. What are we looking for, gang, as we are going to the temples and things of that sort?
Banners with hammers on them.
Banners with hammers. My
Dwarf
favorite
men.
Dr. Seuss book. Yes, you would find a banner with a hammer and a flagon with a dragon. You would find. Give me an investigation check.
See. Investigation. That's 11. My eyes aren't open that much. It's still early.
Located in the crescents, you would find many a temple located to the prime deities, places of worship for those individuals that are looking to pay homage. There is a lot of hustle and bustle coming from one in particular, and that is the Temple of Cord. The Temple of Cord is a poppin' today. It is known. This particular temple is known as the Stalwart Shield, and the Stalwart Shield seems to have quite a bit of traffic around it. And as all of you walk forward, you see individuals that are coming in, and they look like they're paying their respects. In fact, I need perception checks from the four of you.
16.
24.
24, 4,
19.
19. These three, you ain't seeing shit. These three, your eyes dart upward. And off in the distance, you see a blip on the sky, but it's no moon. That's an airship. You've heard of them. You've seen them in the past, but that is an airship. And these are very rare, very expensive forms of travel, but you see a bunch of individuals that look somewhat foreign in appearance that would explain all the different individuals that are walking around. Now, a ways down, away from the Temple of Cord, which a lot of people are tracking to, you would also find the temple that you were looking for, with the hammer motif. It's known as the Buckling Knee. You would immediately recognize buckling as a blacksmithing term, and the turn of buckling knee, as in paying homage. But it's the Temple of Moradin. This is a small, squat building. The Temple to Cord looks like it's a very large building, plenty of ties, but the building that you see to Moradin is less aesthetically pleasing, more small and squat.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Over there, do you not see the banner of that in the distance?
Yeah, this is Moradin.
Yes, and that is whom I wish to seek. I mean, if you'd be so kind that we could go off there, unless there is someone nearby here that you could possibly worship.
So there are two gods, primarily in the God's world. One is Moradin, the other, and I'm going to look at the Temple of Cord, is Cord.
I understand, but for all the crime that there is only one Moradin.
And there is only one Cord.
And by the Allhammer. I must go at least keep my...
Then by all means go.
Are you going to be okay?
I wanted to go hunting, but yeah, I'm fine.
Well, I promise you this.
Oh my god, this is the little kid that was like, well, I wanted to eat at Domino's, but here we are at the salad factory. Like,
I promise you this, but before the day is out, I promise you that we shall hunt. But I feel like we need to give respects first. To bless the hunt.
Yeah, respect, and totally not scoping up the competition as I move my way toward the Temple of Cord.
And going towards Moradin.
Aelin's going to be keeping an eye out for anyone wearing a symbol of Melora.
okay. Temple of Cord. You're keeping an eye out. Give me a perception check. What are you doing during this?
I'm on Cord.
Cord. Okay.
11.
11.
Which is real low for me.
That's real low.
Come with me, buddy.
You don't see a ton of individuals walking around because there are so many that are flooding to this temple. In fact, one of the reasons that they're flooded to this temple are the 3 tables which are set up. And as individuals walk up, you hear them asking for name and entrance fee and things of that sort, as you have stumbled upon the first day of the sign-ups for the Gods Brawl. So, and as you walk up to the temple, once again, you would wait in line for a fair bit of time, 5 minutes or so, as those of you that are waiting, and then as you get up to the front, you're like, hello, are you here to sign up for participation?
Spectate, if that is all right.
Name?
Simon.
Last name?
Fletcher.
Simon Fletcher.
Yeah.
Your dues have already been paid. You're competing in the first round bout, and he will reach down and take a small, what looks to be 2 or 3 large pieces of paper, and be like, "Here you are."
Forgive me. What would be allowed in this tournament? Weapons or only fisticuffs?
He looks and he goes, "The bracket that you have been signed up for, gladiatorial arena. So this would be." All weapons. Quite a performer, aren't you?
I'm not quite as much as my compatriot. Tell me, is there a dwarf named Gilther on this bracket as well?
Yes, of course.
I had a feeling. Dankeschön.
He's actually the one that paid. We're not supposed to tell, but congratulations.
Danke.
Still moving towards the Temple of Moradin.
All right.
Latrian, would you help me with some stretches, please? I have a feeling I will need this.
Sure. Okay.
You assist with some stretches
Yeah.
outside. You're not alone. Like normally you would be like, this is weird, and then you see like 12 other individuals be like, this is less weird. As you see other individuals that are stretching and preparing. The bout, as you look at the paper, the bout starts the day of the Gods Brawl. That's the first of the battles that take place. However, as you read through the paper, you would see that there is an opening volley, as it's described, in about a week's time, where people will be able to compete, and those that have not been able to secure a spot in the tournament, whoever wins the opening bout
Qualifiers.
gets a qualify. But only one gets to move through. It's more for theatrics and, hey, we're all bored, we'll save one spot for the underdog kid, for the Rocky that kind of comes up through the ranks.
Right,
but you are signed up to fight in that, even though you have a space in it, because you are marked down as a gladiatorial fighter.
Gilsa, I'm going to hit you.
Heading over to the temple
Yep.
of... All right. You head over. The doors are both closed as you walk towards the temple.
So you even knock on the door.
There's a bit of a pause as you hear a dwarven man comes up to the door and opens it. We're closed.
He's speaking in Dwarvish or Common?
Speaking of common. He closes the door.
I'm going to be speaking in Dwarvish.
I do not believe that closed would be the proper thing during this festival.
Door opens. Oh, the festival. I didn't know you were here for the festival. Why didn't you say so, elf? Why didn't you tell me you were here for the festival? That's a completely different thing.
I just must...
Slam.
Knocks on the door again.
Yes?
I believe we got it on the wrong foot. I really just wish to pay my respects to Moradin.
You're here to pay your respects to Moradin.
To give him an offering, a benediction.
You.
And he's just going to hold it. He's going to just take off his necklace and he's going to show him the hammer that he made and goes,
Yes, to Moradin.
Did you steal it?
I've crafted it myself. Is it not the will of Moradin that he takes pride in the things that you've created?
Morgan Freeman picture? He's right, you know.
Who are you?
My name's Aelin. I'm just traveling with him. And I'll just point.
He opens the door and just walks away from you. Doesn't say anything. It just sort of...
Is the door still open?
Door's still open. He walks into the space.
Getting outside.
Yep. Inside is a circular meeting space. At the front of this meeting space, what looks to be a anvil. It's a big anvil. It looks like it's used. It doesn't look decorative. Like there are dings and things all over that thing. And surrounding the anvil, there are coals. Some of them still hot. As you see that this is not just a temple. It's an actual workspace.
And I'm sure there's hammers around the area. Okay.
But the hammers are not pristine. You're looking for religious iconography. You came to the wrong place.
Right.
You see hammers hung around the walls, and written in Dwarven is the name, the surname of a different family.
Right.
And the hammers are used. Some of them are you couldn't even call them hammers. Like some of them are just like a lump of iron with a little stick on it that looks like it was beat to hell and back.
I'm looking. Then if there's hammers with family surnames on them, then I'm looking for one specifically. If that's the case.
Investigation check. What are you looking for?
E-spec.
Okay.
That is a 16.
You search the wall. You search the wall. You search the wall. Takes you a little bit. Do you fill him in on it?
I don't think at first no.
Search
But
the wall.
yeah.
Along the trek, you find one tucked away near the eastern wall. You find it and you see it. It's a big hammer. It's a big, like it doesn't even look like it would be usable, but it would have to take someone very stubborn indeed to use this hammer.
Makes sense. Yeah. If that's the case, then he's just gonna rest his hand upon it, and he's gonna take a second, not for his slave owner, but for his wife that had passed first, and he's just gonna offer a prayer to her, just wishing her that everything that he has done up to this point was in honor of not only Morgan, but also to her too, to kind of help in his journey.
His eyes are closed. He places his hand on the wall. You see the dwarven man who's working at the forge. He's pretending to work at the forge, but he's got his eyes on him the entire time. Like he almost hits his thumb at one point. He's like, "Son of a!" he's looking at him. His eyes are closed and Ulvar doesn't see it, but when he places his hand against it, the hammer on the wall glows. Very, very briefly. But Ulvar's not paying any attention to it. But the guy behind the anvil definitely is, and you see it as well.
I want to do an insight check, but I'm not sure on what.
Give me an insight check.
What's your insight checking?
12.
Whatever it is, you're somewhat sure about it.
Got it. Is there any kind of... No, I got nothing. Never mind. Jelly brain.
Yeah.
Hands just gonna come down and I appreciate you coming in to be here with me.
It's so man-made.
Well, Moradin is a crafter. He honors those that craft in his name. So of course it's man-made.
It just makes me uncomfortable.
If you wish, you could wait outside. It's only going to be just a minute more. And
No. You go into the groves with me. I'll come into places with you.
I appreciate it.
And he's going to turn to the dwarf who's manning the anvil and the hammer.
The dwarf man's kind of looking at you strangely, one eyebrow raised, and he goes over and he puts the hammer down, and he reaches underneath where all of his tools are, and he sort of pulls tools out. And then still looking at you, he pulls out a flask, which is not uncommon. He pulls out a couple of glasses, and he pours a very thick, dark amber liquid in both of the shot glasses, and he hands one to you. And he goes, "Drink it."
It would be my pleasure. And he's immediately just shooting it back.
Drink it.
Shooting it back.
I would like one.
This is not something that you need.
He's going to pour it in a glass and hand it to you.
Take it and shoot it.
You are a dwarf. Where are you from?
I'm from up north.
You been cursed?
No, I've been enslaved.
Figures.
It was a man named Tiprick who took me many years ago, but the last name, and he's going to point to the hammer, of Eastbeck just there. But it is his wife Trovy who had made me the person I am today. It was her kindness, and it was Moradin's will. And I wish to honor them both. And it's all that I do, and he's going to show his attire, and his bow. These are things that I have made in the name of Moradin. And I wish to honor him in all that I do. So please, help me.
That's your bow.
It is my bow.
Throw it in the fire.
Into the fire.
The bow hits the there's no question, there's nothing there, and he goes, "Come back tomorrow night."
And your name, sir?
You don't need to know it.
That's a very strange name.
Is there a time to which I shall return?
Nightfall.
Then I shall return at nightfall. By the Allhammer be praised.
By the Allhammer be praised.
And he'll grab Aelin and start walking out.
God, that's an ugly looking dwarf. He looks at you.
I would still like one. They take it and shoot it.
All right, give me a con save at disadvantage.
Aelin! R.I.P.U.
It did not go well, guys. It did not go well. 7?
You know what? It's...
Oh, wait. Yeah, no, a 7.
The initial taste is really good. It's a very smoky flavor.
Mm-hmm.
You are drinking something colloquially known as fire whiskey. And fire whiskey has, you quickly find out, a whiskey that is brewed in a very specific way with crushed black pepper mixed in with it. It is an acquired taste in the such that many people never acquire it. As you take a shot, you take it and you kind of look at him and he maintains eye contact and there's this brief sort of stare down and then he waits and then he raises one eyebrow up and as he raises that one eyebrow up, that's when the...
It's good.
Small mushroom cloud just comes out.
It's very good.
Oh, I bet it is.
Thank you.
Don't come back tomorrow night.
I won't. No, I might have to.
I won't come inside.
I'll have a drink waiting.
Do you have any water?
Yes. And he holds up a bucket that he dips the tools into.
I think I have some. I'll reach my
I think I've got some breast milk in the back if you'd rather have some of that.
Milk drinkers.
I'm too old for that, and I'll leave.
Puts the bucket down, and as you walk out, the door closes. We come back to the two of you. Yep, you're in the house, and the book is on the floor, and with that thump, the furniture shakes a tiny bit, and you see Silt come over to it and pick it up.
Is it mine?
Silt looks over at Kana, and Kana says it was following you. I assume it
Was it following me because it was going to attack me or something, or it's following me because it's mine?
Silt, what does it say? And Silt reaches over to the nightstand that's next to the sofa and hands a patch of grass about this big over towards Kana. And Kana puts his hands on the patch of grass. Silt looks at the book and studies it every way and points over towards the patch of grass. And as he does, tiny mushrooms pop up on the patch of grass underneath Kana's fingers. And as Silt begins to walk around the book and looking at it, studying it on the floor from what he can see, you see the tiny mushrooms appear on the patch of grass with Kana running his fingers and hands over the tiny mushrooms that grow up in the grass. And he goes, I'm so sorry, I can't read this.
I pick up the book. That's all I needed.
Okay.
Can I read it?
You can read it.
What does it say?
It says, the Tome of Zerafina.
It has my name.
What language is it written in? For you, it reads as come.
It's in plain language. It's.
Define plain language.
You can read it. Look.
You can read it.
I can read it?
It says the Tome of Zerafina.
If I turn it around to the familiar.
You can't read that?
To Silt. It's Silt, right?
Silt. Silt.
If I turn it around to Silt, can he read it then if I'm holding it?
No.
No. You can't read this.
No, I just see, it's not even language. It's little drawings. That looks like a man walking. That looks like a staff with two horns around it.
If I open the book, is there anything written in it?
Very quickly, in the brief second that you do, you know when you see something out of your peripheral vision? Mm-hmm. For a brief second, you see the text as it looks to there, and it is these moving pictures. It is these little drawings that are carved in of like a triangle shape, and what looks to be humanoid figures, and a staff, and a bird's head, and an alligator's head. But as you look at it, these pictures almost rearrange. It's almost like a puff, and they form words in common.
Okay. And inside, is it the same sort of language where I'm seeing?
It is.
Can you read inside?
They are spells detailing whatever spells that you would have picked.
Right.
Can I read
Can he read them?
Yes, he can.
Yes.
This is mysterious.
Where are you from?
Well, that's a very complicated question. I mean, there's where I was born, and then there was where I spent a lot of time. I mean, most recently the library, the archives in Sedash.
On the front door. Just hardcore, heavy banging, doom, doom, doom. And immediately, Silt looks at the door. Kana goes, go. And Silt ushers you two. Takes the book, shoves it into your hand, and goes, we need to leave right now. Please, there's a back door leading outside the house. We need you to go. And he will, in his large form, take you and sort of push you out at the back door. He goes, he'll want to speak to you if you have some time in the upcoming days.
I'll come back.
Yeah. And you hear another, boom, boom, boom. Opens the door, please. Opens the door.
I run.
It
out.
would sound almost eerily, uncannily like Simon.
That sounds like Simon.
That's weird.
No, not all Zemnians.
Do you want to call him? See if it's him around the door.
I have a better idea. Once we go outside, I'm gonna.
So it pushes you out these back doors, and you see the rose bushes all set up, and he goes, he looks at you for a second, and he is going to try to kind of give you a blessing. Like he takes his hands and he goes like this and pushes, and you see the roses responding with it as you recognize a very familiar holy symbol on his chest as the same one that Aelin wears. And he pushes the rose bushes forward a little bit, and there's a like faint scent in the air that seems to overpower a lot of other senses. And he goes, "This will help you make a speedy retreat."
Fine.
And he closes the door, so you are free to go. And you still hear the banging, the dum 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 dum.
Do you want to go or do you want to know?
I want to know, but I
Okay.
don't want to get caught.
You go. We'll meet back up at the place we're staying at.
Oh, no, I'm not separating from you, but I can look different.
Yeah, I don't trust that.
I shape change into just a nondescript looking human.
Nondescript human man.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll
Nondescript
do
human man.
alter self to do the same.
All right. Where are you walking? Are you joining? Are you going
Book's
through
going
the
away in my
backyard?
I'm gonna go around,
You
like
go to-
long way. I'm not gonna like come out the backyard. I'm gonna go around and then like up the street to see them.
You go to put the book away, and instinctively, this is what happens. You go to put the book away, and the book kind of goes forward a little bit and disappears. Like you go to put the book away, but just the movement of taking the book is there, and it jumps, and it feels like the book is still in your hand,
Okay.
and at your person. Like when you move your hand like this, it feels like it's still there, but just
I tried
instinctively.
taking it back and then putting it back.
It's back.
Okay. Oh.
Are you
Did you see
ready to go?
Okay. Yes. That was just
Okay.
really cool.
Okay. Yep. Long way around, walking up the street on the other side, just getting a
See who's at the
glimpse.
door.
At this point, a lot of those people are going to be walking inside. However, I don't want this guy outside. One of them is staying out by the front door. This individual standing at the front door is a dragonborn. You see that he has a very long tail and a yellowish looking skin. Almost makes him look sick. The eyes are sunken in a bit, and he is wearing what looks to be dark blue robes that are almost black. And he is standing at the front door of the house just looking at people as they come by, as they walk down the street. You see most individuals aren't making eye contact except for the two of you who are just sort of walking around the long way and glancing.
Get a glimpse of them, and
Yeah.
then I'm gonna keep going.
Standing,
I do not stop.
Yep, standing by the door. He just sort of looks at you two as you walk away, but he's standing by the door and you see that tail do this. It's not a this, it's a
Like an irritated cat?
like an irritated cat.
And I just keep going. I keep going. I don't
Keep
say
going.
anything. I keep going.
Do you want to look for a place to sell the statue or just
Once
head
we're
back?
far enough away.
Yeah.
All right. You head far enough away. You start walking for a while and looking for any sort of district that you'd be able to sell. And there are plenty of shops that are spread all throughout the area, depending on where you would like to go. Knowing that the best place to sell it, depending on where you want to sell it, you can find some places in the Beaded Alley, which is close to the Tumble Downs and things of that sort. You can find some places in the Crescents if you want to try to sell it to a more, like, hey, this once belonged to the Dread Pirate Roberts. Like, if you want to try to upsell this is an ancient artifact.
I'm just gonna get rid of the thing.
You're just gonna get rid of
I'm
the
not
thing.
looking to make a thing out of it.
Yeah, you would find a shop that doesn't even have a name alongside the Beaded Alley. It looks like a
Perfect.
gentleman that's just got a thrift store along
Really?
the
You
way.
don't even want to try to sell it for... Everyone's going to be looking at us going, why did you not get very much money for this?
You're still in a
Yes.
human man
Yeah.
disguise.
Well,
Okay.
it was just a nondescript human. Like I was going for female, but
Oh, got it. Okay, cool. Yeah. This makes me happy. If you were like, why didn't you? And it's just, yeah.
We have enough money.
well, maybe we don't. Do you remember how much those things cost when we were trying to look for human
Well, I don't know what your
versions and
budget's
stuff?
usually like, but I can survive fine off what I have.
Yes, well,
Plenty
what about
fine.
everybody else?
They'll be fine. We're gonna get jobs. They just want us to get rid of this thing, okay?
No, I think they want money. Should we wait?
If they wanted money, they should have done it themselves.
Well, let's just wait. We'll just wait. We'll do this later. It doesn't have to be done now.
Fine.
So we head back towards the inn.
Head back towards the end. Let's get to the two of you. You're out there doing stretches and things of that sort. Individuals are seeing you, and people are bustling about. How long do you stay there?
Long enough to see if Gilther's there.
Perception check.
Cool. Hey, you know that inspiration I got?
Yeah,
I'll
you can
use
burn that
it.
inspiration.
15.
15. You all would finish what you were doing by the time it takes for you to scope out. He's doing a lot of warm-ups. Most people, when they do warm-ups, are warming up to do something, but it hits the point where warming up becomes, this is the activity that we're doing today. And this is what you see. Simon is just sort of scoping out the horizon. It takes about an hour and a half. You all have finished what you're doing, and you're over by the temple. After an hour and a half, with a very large amount of fanfare, coming down the street is a caravan of individuals. You would see all of them wear these colors of blue and gold. And it looks like they are talking with a dwarven man who's at the center of this group of individuals. The dwarven man has a whip at his side, and next to him is also a very large trident that he is carrying, and there's no reason for him to be carrying these two items down the middle of the street, but you see these individuals talking with him, and everybody that's part of the small entourage is wearing some facsimile of blue and gold. And he just walks down the center of the street. As he comes up to the tables, you see the person behind the table snap their fingers, and everybody that's waiting in line just disperses.
Not one for subtlety, is he?
I don't think so.
One of the members of the ensemble comes forward and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, the esteemed
Gilther!
You immediately cut him off, and there is a stop pause as everyone in the group looks over, and the dwarf stops and squints his eyes and goes, "Have we met?"
It's wonderful to see you again. I see Herr Cruyffus did not waste his training on you.
Simon,
It's one and only.
you look so old. It's good to
do
see you.
look so tacky.
Well, the audiences love a bit of showmanship. You never were a fan of it. And he comes forward very genuinely and puts a hand out.
I grab him by the wrist.
Strength save.
Okay. 14.
Nat 20.
Alright.
It hurts.
Yeah.
His smile doesn't break.
Mine falters slightly.
Yeah. And as soon as your smile falters a bit, he lets go. And he goes, "You need to put some more meat on your bones."
Shouldn't need the strength if I'm fast enough so you can't hit me.
So I can't hit you.
Let's be honest, Gilther. You're the only real competition here.
Well, you're not wrong about that, Simon. Simon and I both trained under the same mentor. Our mentor, unfortunately, lost his life fairly recently, but left me a fair sum upon his passing.
But you weren't at the reading of the will.
With that, he turns. What are you wearing?
My armor and whatnot.
No, what are you wearing? Are you dragon? Are you human?
No, I'm still Dragonborn.
You're still Dragonborn. And he goes, "The will."
Yeah.
What will?
The one that said you're very short and annoying.
Oh.
Can he have the chameleon for that?
We're gonna play plastic alien.
The group disperses. every single member of the entourage leaves. Give me an insight check.
Yeah, okay.
Can I?
Yeah.
I'm there, right? Yeah.
Both of you are there.
Nat 20.
Nat 20?
I rolled a 19, so that's a 25.
It's a
19.
This is the most crowded this place has ever been. There's nothing that he can do here until these 20 to 30 individuals disperse. And where do they go? To every single Clovis Concord and looking official and just giving them handshakes. As every official, law-abiding or otherwise, within a certain radius of these individuals, immediately finds something else to do. You got something to say?
I think I said it.
I think you did too.
I did.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh gosh.
No.
Now I don't have my bow on me.
That's our.
You got other weapons, right?
I do. I really do.
Really glad I got such a high roll on that insight, so I could roll so low on initiative.
Okay.
I believe in you, buddy.
19? What about you?
No, I got a 19.
Oh, I got a 19. Let's roll off.
It's just those two.
Oh, okay.
12.
12. Same. Let's roll off again.
19.
Yep, you're going first.
Okay.
He walks up to you.
Okay.
You see members of the court, once they have been paid off, they all start to gather around. You see two of them walk beside you. You see two of them walk beside you. You see two of them walk beside you. And he just walks up to you.
Okay.
I'm just like, hold my hand out to these two, and then proceed to just kneel down and watch.
Yep. You kneel down and watch. You don't do anything
Nope.
with your turn. He walks up to you, and he is going to... What's he going to do? He's just going to punch you hard in the
Hits.
stomach. Yep.
It hits.
19 hits for 4 points of damage.
Okay.
He goes, say it again.
Oh, you're short annoying.
All right. He takes the trident and...
It hits. I'm not avoiding these hits.
Yeah? Okay. I'll say this. I'll save us time as the trident slams into you again, and you just keep taking the hits. Yep. If he keeps taking the hits, eventually this fight goes as follows. He never moves. He never moves from the spot. Elatrion just keeps taking hits, keeps taking hits, keeps taking hits until Elatrion stops taking hits.
No. After he brings the trident out, I am going to step behind Gilther.
Okay.
It's not very sporting fighting an unarmed opponent who is not fighting back.
The minute you do this, you are out of the tournament.
The moment I do this, the moment I stop
The moment you stop this, you are out of the tournament.
Like, if you try to stop it, I'm just going to put my hand up and be like, no.
He wants it.
This is how followers of Cord behave, apparently.
Oh. I'm not a follower.
You're just in his temple, then. Cool.
Yep.
Go for it.
Boom. He looks at you. He smiles. Boom.
Like you just audibly hear his knuckles cracking.
Yeah. Last hit, haymaker.
Kalen cast.
Nope. Like,
Okay. Hang on. Hang on. This is the last punch. Okay? Last punch. He's gonna do this. You're casting. You're punching.
I want to at least try to catch it.
Two guys on you. You have not said that you moved.
That's true.
Okay. If you're making a move here,
if I had two people on me, then
I'd like to remind you guys, I did make it clear that this was just going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Are these guys drawing weapons or like that?
Their hands are at their side, next to weapons.
I still can't. I can't let you do that. No, like if he's going for the blow, I'm gonna at least try to just put my hand out.
You are currently being grappled. I need acrobatics or athletics.
Acrobatics.
Okay.
17 plus 6, 23.
Yeah, that's gonna do it. You gonna come forward?
At least, yeah, just at least.
Yeah, that's not how this works. Like, you're not gonna put a hand up to add to his DC if he wants to be hit here. You need to grab Gunther or don't put the hand up. And he's made it very clear.
That's a good acrobatics check. I'm gonna grab it. Grab him at least.
Got it. Okay. Before that final hit, you're bleeding. The eye is swollen shut from the punches that you've taken. You're going to put a hand up to it, and you hear, "Halt! He's being molested in the street, in the middle of the street." And you see 3 or 4 of the King's Guard of the Clovis Concord, Zalazi, make their way forward over to where you are, and they come over to where he is, with Elatrion beaten, bloodied, and in the middle of the street. Okay? And they look at him, beaten and bloodied, not unconscious, and they look over at the dwarven man that's doing this, and he goes, they ask him, "Did this man attack you?" Pointing at Ulvar.
It was either an attack.
They're asking me if Ulvar attacked?
He stops, and he goes, "Did this man attack me?"
No blow was struck.
Then I guess we're fine. You've got to stop tripping.
You're right, I'm so clumsy. I'll work on it.
Good.
I can't wait to see you in the tournament, Gilsa. We've much to catch up on.
In the middle of a crowded street, outside of a temple, he gathers his men. They all come forward. The guardsmen nod at you. They look over at you. There's a pained look on their face as they look at their side and tap their weapon and begin to walk off into the crowd. And he begins to tell stories of his latest conquests to the individuals gathered around him.
As he's leaving, I'm going to look to the others. Back home, we had a phrase for Gilsa. He has this face that is backpfeifengeschicht. In desperate need of punching. He'll get it eventually.
Aelin's gonna run over. Can I? And I'll cast Cure Wounds.
I'm gonna go sign up for this tournament.
Yeah.
As you are curing wounds, he's just a bloody mess walking over there, and as he signs the paper with the quill, a bit of his blood getting onto the paper. And they say, "We're going to need the 400 gold entry fee." "I'll pay it." A dragonborn will walk in from the back of the crowd, wearing armament. His arms are covered in metal collars. From here, up. From here, up. The chest is collars that have been bent and fashioned into a breastplate. The leg armor is collars that have been taken and bent and fashioned into leg plates for the armor. And upon glance, you realize that every single one of them are a different slave collar that he has collected and put upon his person, with the symbol of Bahamut emblazoned upon the chest. And he walks forward and he comes walking up to the table, takes a bag of gold with emblazoned...
I'm going to stop him and go, "Nope, I've got it." And I'll offer half to them now and half later.
He puts a hand up and he goes, "I have to pay it. When I was you, someone took my collar. I have to pay it."
Only as long as you are aware, this means I owe you nothing.
He puts a hand up and he puts the bag on the counter and nods at you and nods at everybody here in the corner and leaves. He nods and he will walk away.
You're going to enter this thing. For what? Foolish pride. Or to get revenge.
We are motivated by very different things here with our...
I understand this, but it was an injustice that he will receive in due time. But
Yes.
you
In
kicking his
tournament.
ass and Combat.
the tournament, he will receive his just rewards.
But that is of gore. That is not of justice, pure justice.
Never been to a temple of court, have you?
Court and Warden focus on contests of strengths. Whereas yours is of craft, theirs is of a more martial variety. This will be justice in court eyes.
So-
Is that not enough?
So to kill each other for the sole sake of
Nine,
He's
nine,
not
nine,
gonna
nine, nine.
die.
No deaths.
Probably.
Humiliation at the hands of either him or me. Being brought so low and to be handed to defeat in the middle of the gods' broad.
And this is what you worship.
And I pull out my amulet of the hammer and anvil. We worship in different ways, but it is of the same God.
And like they said, no one dies.
Probably.
I love your optimism, but then I cannot guarantee. Just use your head next time.
Headbutt him. Got it.
Oh, that's usually my thing.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Wanderlust episode 4. We're very grateful to have you all here with us. We're going to go raid a channel here with the quickness. And we have 2 individuals that are signed up for the Gods Brawl that unless there's some juggling taking place, there will not be there for this handoff that is taking place. So we've got lots of fun stuff happening along the way. So we'll see you all very soon here on Indigo Chameleon, and we love you. Thanks for wandering with us.